While you were watching these images back home, Pyongyang greeted us with a much more peaceful and relaxed view. No soldiers, no tanks, no army vehicles. On Kim Il-sung Square, instead of 100,000 soldiers shouting angrily, we met only groups of children happily engaged in the newest craze, rollerblading. I couldn't stop thinking of the lucky guy who made a windfall by selling 1 million pairs of rollerblades to North Korea. Most of the city is like a time capsule left behind from the 1950s Soviet Union. The wide avenues are lined with crumbling, shapeless buildings, and only the huge propaganda posters bring some color to the scene. There is practically no traffic on the streets. The public buses and the trams are not able to cope with the demand. There are long lines at the bus stops, and most people seem to be forced to reach their destinations on foot. The pride of the local transport system, the subway, operates normally, serving more than 200,000 people every day. The locals don't seem to be too keen to visit the thousands of monuments erected for the Kims and the other heroes, unless their work unit schedules the visit for the whole company or if they come with their military units. They are more likely to bump into North Koreans at one of the entertainment venues. The city's playgrounds look like anywhere else in the world. There are volleyball courts all around Pyongyang, and field hockey teams share big squares with youth groups that are out to practice their lockstep formation. It's not easy to get an open lane at the bowling alley, but you can always walk across the street and spend an hour or two among the locals at the new ice rink. This was opened to the public in November 2012 and can reportedly serve 7,500 skaters every day. Motorized traffic outside Pyongyang is practically non-existent. The 175-kilometer-long reunification highway, completed on April 15th, Kim Il-sung's birthday in 1992, connects Pyongyang with Kaeson City in the south. As you travel away from Pyongyang, the cities become even more run down. Mostly cyclists and pedestrians use the 4 lanes. The villages along the road look unexpectedly well kept, although only very few houses appear to have electricity. The countryside is bleak, lacking buildings, installations and services. Work on the fields and in the cities is done by hand using only the simplest, most primitive tools. This is very hard to document, as foreigners are not allowed to take pictures of work crews. It is also very hard to see below the surface, and so it is impossible to tell whether the godlike admiration paid to the Kims and everything that they represent is real or staged. Contact with the locals is strictly limited, and walking on the streets alone is forbidden. My impression is that the 6 decades of propaganda and the isolation from the rest of the world have completely brainwashed nearly everybody, and they do indeed believe that they live in a socialist paradise. The state must be doing a good job silencing the few who would want to ask questions. We didn't see any sign of dissent. Despite the gloomy images and the reality that it is likely to be even darker, it is hard to believe that North Korea is a nation preparing for war. The shouting contest may have reached fever pitch levels, and the rest of the world may take the youngest Kim's threat seriously, but inside North Korea there is no sign of any military preparation. Visitors still drive to the DMZ and can stop at other military posts along the border fence. The attitude in general is calm and relaxed, and there is no hostility towards foreigners. It is most unfortunate that the world is presented with a very different picture, and that the reports that reach us fail to illustrate what the daily life is like in North Korea.